Are North Koreans fighting in the Ukrainian battlefield? Now, the West and also President Zelensky are convinced of it, while Moscow and Pyongyang are strenuously denying these claims, even as the United States maintains that North Korean troops are training in Russia. Our next report takes a look as to how this dangerous phase of war in the Russia-Ukraine conflict has now become a crucial aspect of this conflict. Take a look at this report.
The Russia-Ukraine war is nearing the 1,000-day mark. Battered and bruised, the Ukrainian soldiers are battling Russian missiles and bombs, pulverizing their front lines. But the expanding war is now entering a more dangerous phase, with the West increasingly convinced that the North Korean soldiers are being deployed on the front lines. President Zelensky claims up to 12,000 North Korean soldiers could soon join Moscow's operations. South Korean intelligence claims 3,000 North Korean troops, including special forces, are in Russia's Far East for training, likely in preparation for deployment in Ukraine. A claim that has raised equal concerns in the Biden administration.
We assess that between early to mid-October, North Korea moved at least 3,000 soldiers into eastern Russia. We assess that these soldiers traveled by ship from the Wonsan area in North Korea to Vladivostok, Russia. These soldiers then traveled onward to multiple Russian military training sites in eastern Russia, where they are currently undergoing training.
Seoul now hints it could supply weapons to Ukraine, a move that could further complicate the situation.
We've had a principle of not directly supplying lethal weapons to Ukraine. We will be more flexible and can review the possibility of supplying lethal weapons depending on North Korean troops' activities in Russia.
Both Russia and North Korea have firmly denied these allegations. The Kremlin dismissed the claims as fake news, and Pyongyang called them baseless rumors. The relationship between Moscow and Pyongyang has grown stronger since the onset of the Ukraine war, with both nations signing a key defense agreement in June. This pact commits each country to provide immediate military support if the other is attacked. Implications of this military alliance extend far beyond the Ukrainian battlefield, prompting international responses. Germany and Austria have summoned North Korean diplomats, with North Korea's 1.2 million strong military lacking combat experience. Analysts suggest this intervention could provide valuable battlefield insights for Pyongyang, while significantly bolstering Russia's war effort. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
All right, now to give us more perspective on this, we're being joined by Mr. John Irath, who's a Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation in Washington, and he's joining us live in this broadcast. Mr. Irath, what do you make of these reports which state that anywhere from 3,000 to perhaps as many as 12,000 North Korean soldiers are perhaps undergoing training at this moment to join the Russians in the Ukrainian battlefield?
The reports have been sourced through a number of different places, including South Korean and U.S. intelligence. So I think there's reason to believe that there is a good amount of truth in them. This is a sign the relationship between North Korea and Russia is growing closer, and that cooperation in the military sphere is increasing between those two countries. It's not clear yet exactly what the North Koreans will be doing or how they will be used, whether they will go to the front lines in Ukraine or something else.
Now, in your assessment, do you think the North Korean soldiers, if they are fielded in Ukraine, will be interoperable along with the Russian soldiers?
That's going to be something that would be fairly difficult to do. North Korea and Russia do not have a history of combined military operations or training, at least not an extensive one. So I would imagine that there would be some difficulties. But it's also possible that the North Koreans would be used much the way Russia has used some of its conscript for criminal units thus far. That is, to find Ukrainian positions, take fire and casualties, and allow that the professional Russian soldiers backing them up would be able to target. You don't need a lot of co-training or cooperative experience to do that kind of role.
Now, according to reports, again, we have to take these reports with a pinch of salt. It's being said that the reason why the Russians perhaps may want these North Korean soldiers is to field them to repel the Ukrainian Kirk's offensive. The question that I want to ask you is this: why do you think the Russians require that North Korean soldiers actually come on the battlefield and fight against the Ukrainians?
That is really the key question to be asking about this. Russia has the world's third largest military. It's very modern and well equipped, and the Kremlin has been putting out propaganda for over 2 years saying that it is unstoppable. And now they suddenly need reinforcements from a lower tech, lesser military to come in and help them out. So this smacks of some level of desperation on the Russian side, that they are not achieving their objectives, or they are not able to sustain the pace and tempo of their military operations without some outside help. So I would be watching this very carefully.
All right, we'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Irath, for joining us and getting us that perspective there.
Very well.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.